It's the greatest time of the season, and I'm not talking about Christmas. This is the Bishop's Basketball Challenge playoffs. It's round one of this series between the Denver Blue Devils and the Fargo Frogs. And today we get it kicked off right here in the Fargo Dome. Last time these two teams played, Fargo Frogs outlasted the Denver Blue Devils 31-28. I think this is going to be one of the most thrilling matchups we have in this first round. These two teams head-to-head. Saw some good moments from that game, and now I think we're going to see even greater moments here as the playoffs begin. With the likes of Potnick, Muccioli, and Almirola going up against Donlin, Brendan Allen, and Jacques de Queef. Don't forget about Big M. It's sure to be an absolute thriller of a game. As we get underway, tip-off goes to the Fargo Frogs. They look to score first. The opportunity lies in the hands of Alan Parsons, and his first project is putting in a two-pointer. How about that to give the Fargo Frogs some early momentum here? And that is not what you want to see if you're a Denver Blue Devils fan. It looked like Elton just threw it out of the freaking court for some reason. Not sure what the communication was there. Clearly some sort of miscommunication. That shot by it looked like Big M was missed. That's rare, but all right. Here's Ash Elton again. Needs some sort of redemption after that last play. Goes up into the paint herself, puts it in, and it's a foul on them as well. How about that? Looked like it was maybe Parsons that got up in her face. Couldn't quite tell. And that will give the Blue Devils the lead with the and one by Ash Elton. She's got all 3 points so far for the Blue Devils. Here's Alan Parsons to Jacques de Queef, who lays it up for the slam dunk. Giving the lead back to the Fargo Frogs. Ribbit. 4-3 for Fargo. Now it's back in the hands of the Blue Devils, specifically Alan Muccioli, who is now storming up the court, loses the ball, ends up in the hands of Jay Almirola. Recovers for a great two-pointer there. Once again, Blue Devils lead. Tightly knit here in the first minute of the game. That shot was blocked straight up into the air. Brandon Allen, he's a tall guy, but apparently could not outlast that defender. Here it is back to Almirola. The pass was no good. I don't know what happened there. It looked like he went for the jump, but didn't possess the ball after the pass. I'm a little confused by that one. Here's Alan Parsons back to Mustafa for three. And you just know those are going to hit most of the time when it's in the hands of Big M. Lays his booty on the ground after that big three-pointer. Big M giving it to the Blue Devils early on here. That's a 2-point lead for the Blue Devils. Could have tied it right there, but could not. Now it's back in the hands of Alan Parsons. Parsons surveys a little bit. The pass attempt was blocked and goes for the shot. That was an interesting exchange right there. Blue Devils will get it back here. Ash Elton once again with it. What does Elton do here? Hopefully not a replication of the first play of the game, that's for sure. Look at this three-point attempt. It's no good, though. And it's out of bounds again. We've been seeing a lot of weird balls heading out of bounds in this game so far. That's like the fourth one, maybe. 3 of them by the Blue Devils, if I recall correctly. But here we are, a quick pass to Paul Donlin for the hook. How about that? Paul Donlin doing what he does best. Here's Ash Elton. Again, taking a gander. Ellis for 3. Ellis misses. Blue Devils need to start making some of those shots. Here's Big M to Queef. Up and in. 5-foot jump shot. And how about a 6-point lead over double the points of the Blue Devils so far in the first half of the first half? Alan Muccioli puts it up. Once again, off target. They cannot score. Here is Big M. Big M to Alan Parsons. Parsons is taking a gander. A lot of these guys have had a long shift here. Consider maybe taking a timeout soon to make some substitutions, but they're still playing on here. Here's Ellis for a two-footer. Or two-pointer, sorry. If he was a two-footer, I would have hoped he would have made it. That was more like 21 feet. They still retain possession, though, with the offensive rebound. Mooch puts it up, and that one's finally going to go in. Here is the timeout by Fargo, and now a lot of substitutions will be made. They keep Paul Donlin and Big M in, though, so keep an eye on that. They're looking to keep going full throttle if they can. Now the ball's in the hand of Carter Jones. Jones dribbles with it, puts it up in the paint. Will he make it? Absolutely. Carter Jones gets his first points of the game, 13-7. Now, here is Montgomery. Montgomery with 1:30 left, passes it to Caldwell. Caldwell's going to apply the pressure. Three in the key, violation. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was freshly hired off the streets. I'm still kind of newish to basketball. I'm not sure what that means, so I apologize to you folks at home. Here's Glover for 2, and how about that? Back to over double is the lead for the Fargo Frogs. 15-7. Here's Montgomery. Montgomery up. Will it go in? It hung for a little while, and it does go in, though. Cody Montgomery. 15-9 now. 6-point deficit. Still going to need a lot more to go their way. Here's Glover up, and that is good for the Skyhook. 4 points for Martin Glover now, back-to-back shots. 43 seconds remain. The Frogs' commanding offense is really good for this team right now, but Javier Gomez says not so fast. But speaking of not so fast, watch this over to Kavcic. Kavcic over to Donlin. Well, looks like that was partially blocked, but it's a foul in favor of Fargo. No surprise there, and 1 for Paul Donlin. See if he gets another. That was a little off target, little short. That's okay, though. Here's Carter. Trying to cut the deficit some more. It's at 7 right now, 18-11. Here it is to Caldwell for 3. This is what they need, and they don't get it. They don't get it. Still a 7-point lead for the Frogs. Make that a 9-point lead with Monroe putting it in. How about that? 10 seconds left. Blue Devils need a score. Caldwell does not learn from her mistakes. Here's an attempt for Monroe. Are you kidding? No. No, that's off target too. We are not getting the best shot ever, part 3. I'm sorry, it's too early for that. But you know what's not early for the Fargo Frogs? A 9-point lead, 20-11. And we'll be right back after a commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Big Preds fan. Let's go Predators.
The famous Bridgestone Arena, home of the Nashville Predators. Let's go ahead and walk and talk with a local Nashville fan. And it was at this point when I turned around and saw a family of 4 judging me. I decided I couldn't do this anymore.
That's what we like to call a failed scene. Cut the camera.
If you truly want an experience you'll never forget right down in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, buy your season tickets today. And hey, we're actually pretty good.
12 seconds later.
McTavish shot, the rebound put in. He leads Terry into a good spot, and he scores. And it's in.
I'm here with a Nashville Predators fan. How's your day going?
Pretty awful. We're losing 3-1, and I want to hang myself from the rafters.
Oh, why are we losing so bad today?
Because we suck.
But at the end of the day, that's not what really matters. What really matters is the fun we have along the way. Get your season tickets today.
Welcome back. It's playoff action for the Bishop's Basketball Challenge here on the Caden Bishop channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you have liked the action so far. I know I certainly have. Here's Montgomery. Now, Blue Devils need to get some momentum. They need to get the ball rolling. They are down by a good margin. And they can't still. Thankfully, if you're the Blue Devils, I'm still trying to breathe easy, because the Frogs usually can't get much going in the second half. But, man, after that two-pointer by Paul Donlin, still double the score of the Denver Blue Devils. They take a timeout. They realize they need to get a solid game plan down before things get out of control. And there we go. Ashley Caldwell finally gets some points after some failed three-point attempts earlier on. But it does not matter. Luka Kavcic says, nuh-uh. We're getting those 2 points right back. 11-point lead again for the Fargo Frogs. Montgomery back and forth. Up to Montgomery again. It's a foul on Paul Donlin. Unbelievable. Montgomery going to sink this one, I think. Nope, misses. Can't be having that. Cannot be having that for those Denver fans. Absolutely not. They make that one, though. 24-14. Monroe. These guys just have to play damage control right now. Try to chew a bit of clock maybe and just keep making those beautiful 2-pointers. Paul Donlin, keep it up, brother. How about this pass to Potnick? It's made, and once again, Donlin just getting himself in trouble with these fouls. Might have to be cleaned up in the film room after this game. Potnick, unbelievable. Sat up there and missed. Glover, still with a 10-point lead over to Paul. He lays it up and he gets fouled. What is this back and forth action? Now, if that's retaliation, I don't quite understand how they thought that would benefit them for the Blue Devils. That's a crazy play if that was retaliation. 12-point lead. I mean, this is just absolutely in favor of the Frogs, but they cannot let the pedal off the metal because the Blue Devils are trying to bring it back. Frank Potnick with that slam dunk. 3:30 left in the second half. Glover getting it up. It's not going in, though, I can tell you that. Still a 10-point lead. Still a good margin, but can't get too comfy with that with this much time on the clock. That one misses. It goes wide right. Now it's in the hands of Monroe. Monroe does a little serving. He's not sure where to go with it. Will he take it himself? He goes for 3. It's short. Oh, and how about that? Elton grabbed the ball, but couldn't keep it in bounds. It's back in the hands of Fargo Frogs after that terrible mistake by Ash Elton. Here's Kavcic. That's blocked. Incredible block by the Blue Devils. Here's Elton with it. Progressing forward. There's a layup. 8-point lead. Fargo takes a timeout. They're like, all right, we've blown it before a few times. Let's not do it again, boys. Parsons to Big M. This is where they need to string together a few good plays. That's good. That's good right there by Jacques to Queef. Just get it in there. Build the buffer. 6 points on the day for Jacques. How about that? 2:30 left in the second half. Just a quarter of this game left. Montgomery misses. I mean, they've just been off target pretty consistently all day. The Blue Devils just can't get into a rhythm. And that might be what sells them game 1. Jacques up. That's blocked. It's in the hands of Ash Elton. Here's Elton now storming over to the left side of the court. Let's see what she does. It's over to Montgomery. To Almirola. Jay Almirola had a great block not too long ago. This goes up. Oh my goodness, that doesn't go in either. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. If I'm a Denver Blue Devils fan, I am pissed. Alan Parsons with another 2-pointer. That's just his second score of the game. Ash Elton taking a look. I mean, they got to start making threes. That's the only way they're going to win this. Not enough time for anything else. They can't even make 2-pointers. I'm not sure what to say. Denver's got to figure this out, though, for game 2. That's for sure. Paul Donlin. Here we go again. Will he get another classic 2-pointer? No, it goes to Big M for 3. How about that? If you're a Fargo Frogs fan, you are loving what you're seeing here in the Fargo Dome today. 6 points now. Both 3-point attempts good for Mustafa. Ash Elton. There's really not much they can do at this point. Fargo has basically won this game. Elton, though, see, get any sort of momentum. I cannot believe it. That doesn't go in. DeQueef to Big M for 3. Oh, my God. They are dunking on him. Absolute disrespect from the Fargo Frogs. You love to see it here in Fargo, North Dakota. 18-point lead. What a whooping. Here it is to Murray now. Murray, it's up. Oh, it's still no good. Oh my gosh. The Blue Devils fans are furious. But they got a takeaway right there. Here's Ellis. They can at least make this slam dunk. There you go. Get some sort of retribution out of this. Is that what that word means? We're going to assume it is. 38 seconds left. Can we crack 40 points? Let's see it. Go over to Paul. That's a jump shot. Oh, no good. No good. That would have made it 40-22 right there, but it's no good. Ellis really looking both sides of the court to Murray. Murray, risky pass to Potnick. That is going to barely hang on and go through. 6 points now for Potnick. 12 seconds remaining. It's been a fun game here today, but the Fargo Frogs are going to take game 1 here in round 1. I cannot believe they just missed that slam dunk. That's crazy. I hope that doesn't set the tone for the future. But what matters is the Fargo Frogs are victorious here in the Fargo Dome. Missed three-pointer is going to end the game for the Blue Devils. 14 points is the margin of victory and your player of the game. Who else but Mustafa El Mady? 9 points. And how about this? A playoffs record? 3 3-pointers. I mean, it's very early in the playoffs, but he'll take what he can get. Good numbers by Big M today. That's what you need from your star players. But, I mean, both halves, Fargo just absolutely commanding and really demanded a lot of the Blue Devils, and they just could not respond. So Denver will gather back up and huddle up in the locker room and see and assess how can they improve for the rest of this round. They cannot have a game like they just had today again. And the Frogs just need to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they've been clicking on all their offensive cylinders now all of a sudden. Going past their defensive narrative, they are now bringing everything together at the right time. And we'll see if they can keep it going. Thank you again so much for watching. Here's the shot chart, by the way, for you nerds. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of round 1.
This broadcast of the Bishop's Basketball Challenge cannot be replicated, reproduced, or retransmitted without authorized consent. BBC thanks you for your loyal viewership, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.